It's now time for Easy Money with E, where we welcome in Erica, our resident sports betting analyst. And I am so excited to talk to you about the Coca-Cola 600 because you killed it with your all-star bets last week.
Sometimes, Kim, it's very hard to be humble, and this is one of those instances because we hit it so big last week. We had 4 of our best bets to hit. We had 2 of our head-to-heads to hit. We had Logano to be the outright winner to cash in, and then Ty Gibbs to be the outright winner of the All-Star Open. Feeling myself, however, as the young kids say, sometimes those tables will turn, so celebrating the wins in a very humble way.
Okay, well, right now all I'm hearing is ching ching. So, as we look at this weekend, it is the best weekend in motorsports, and not that fans need another reason to watch all the racing action on Sunday, but you're going to give them one because you've got some really good bets, and it starts with a parlay where we work in both F1, IndyCar, and NASCAR.
Yeah, Kim, we typically do a 2-leg parlay, but 3-leg parlay is where it's going to be this weekend. Starting with the Monaco Grand Prix with Max Verstappen's odds to have the fastest lap. Then second, our guy Kyle Larson to be a top 5 finisher in Indy 500. And then finally, William Byron in the NASCAR Coca-Cola 600 to be a top 3 finisher. Let's go back to Max at Grand Prix. Everyone knows he wins essentially every race every time he gets in a car. He's won 5 of the 7 races this year. And if you don't like his odds to have the fastest lap, you can totally switch this out and go his odds to be the outright winner. But plus 135 has more value than minus 150. Second leg of the parlay, Larson. Larson, as we know, you can put him in a cardboard box and he's going to make it go. I have no doubt whatsoever, Kim, that Larson will have a top 5 finish at this weekend's Indy 500, which is, as we know, his debut. And then William Byron, who finished second in the 600 last year. Top 3 finishers odds. A $10 bet wins you a total of $158 and some change. Have yourself a day, guys, enjoying the greatest day in motorsports this Sunday.
All right, let's focus solely on the Coca-Cola 600. In your parlay, you circled William Byron when we were talking Coke 600. So as we talk about winning manufactured, should we put our money on Chevrolet?
Winning manufactured this weekend, Chevy all day, or as you would say, Kim, heavy Chevy.
Heavy Chevy, heavy on Chevy.
Heavy on the Chevy. And I know that a lot of people out there are like, oh, if Chevy's going to be the winning manufacturer, then it must be Kyle Larson. But I want to take a pause. As we know, Larson is going to be going from the Indy 500, then flying or helicoptering in to Charlotte to then run the 600. I used to be a server and a bartender. Working a double always sounds really good until the day of the shift. So granted, Larson has handlers and all these people to make sure he's going to be at the top of his game. I don't think that Larson's going to have as good of a run in the 600 as he could if he was just running just the race without coming from the 500. With that being said, William Byron is my outright winner's odds, so plus 1,000 there, but then Chevy to be the winning manufacturer.
All right, great points there. Let's move into group bets.
We have not done a group bet in a while, Kim. So there's one group that I'm looking at, and it has Todd Gilliland in it, Daniel Suarez, both at plus 260. Then it has Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at plus 275. And then it also has Michael McDowell at plus 275. Kim, I'm going Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in this spot all day. I mean, we talk about momentum on this show so much, and you can call it momentum, you can call it him being on level 10, but after what we saw last weekend, I cannot imagine that he's not going to come out guns blazing and win this group, and who knows what else he might do. So Ricky Stenhouse at plus 275. Oh, and I like those odds, and he finished in, 7th in this race last year. So yes. And then as an aside, as we get closer to race weekend, I think that you should make sure you keep your eyes on some drivers' odds to finish in the top 10. And I like Chase Elliott at minus 190, Ty Gibbs at minus 140. I know those are juiced, but because we are being a little bit more, I guess, a little bit riskier with our parlay this week, here's a little spot where you can be safe to definitely win some money.
Okay, well, we can't ignore the beef that we saw between Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch after the All-Star race. You mentioned Ricky in the group bet. I didn't see Kyle anywhere. So can we look for bets? Because I saw Ricky's quotes after the race. He said, I will wreck you at Charlotte. Are there bets out there whether or not we're going to see retaliation?
So you can call me messy, if you will, but I'm looking for retaliation. I would love to see another fight. And then B, I'm also looking on the betting boards across the odds boards to see if there is that. And I have not been able to find any odds that pit Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch against one another. So I'm going to be putting in a couple of calls to some odds makers. Like, do you not know what we just experienced last weekend at the All-Star race? But keep your eyes open because you never know. They might eventually come up closer to the race.
Yeah, as fans look for some of those bets later in the week, especially RSJ versus KB, don't forget, too, that each week Erica has bonus bets where she is checking the books for you, making sure you know the best bets right before race weekend. Erica, again, great information. We love your insight, and we'll see you next week.